So I think this is going to be a great show. You know why?
Why is that?
Because I see some highlighted notes in front of you.
I have them.
That means we're somewhat organized tonight.
We are somewhat organized.
Good.
And yet the first thing I do is stray. I stray from my notes. Because there was you remember small changes can big effects?
Yeah.
I am approach. We had a change today in our family. Our dog of 18 years.
Wow.
Toy poodle, 18 years old, Dodger, had to be euthanized today. It's heartbreaking. And I wanted to bring it up because my guess is that there are a lot of people out there who've experienced this sadness, this grief, this loss. And this is, another species, still part of our family.
Yeah. Part of your community.
Part of our community. Our home domain. Dodger has been in our home domain for 18 years.
That's a long time. What a great long life that dog had.
Oh, it's wonderful. And such a sweetheart. And, my wife Carol was telling me that they were driving him today. I mean, he's been doing okay. I mean, look, he's 18. 18, but he could walk and he could bark and he could, eat, and he would wander around the backyard. But today, apparently, I got this phone call while I was at work. He was whimpering, and he couldn't stand up.
Right.
And that meant pain. He never whimpers. And he's able to walk around. So they took him to the vet, and on the way there, Carol told me she'd roll the window down because he likes to put his head out the window. And so he did that for a little bit. But then she said he just lay on the seat and just put his head in her lap and just lay there. And then apparently when I'm getting all choked up,
It's brutal.
part of our family.
Yeah.
And then he was in pain. The vet, gave him some sedatives in preparation. And he just calmed down, and Carol was holding him, and he just started gently licking her hand and arm.
Thank you for your kindness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was so sad. And again, these small changes can have such big effects.
Yeah. The home domain will never be the same.
It will never be the same. And we're so grateful to have had him as part of our lives for all these years. Have you ever experienced that?
I
Lost a
have.
pet?
It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. We had a dog for 14 and a half years, and slowly the body started to deteriorate, and you get to a point where the dog looks at you right in the face and is like, it's time.
Yeah.
Please don't, belabor this any longer. And you do the right thing by that animal, but it's interesting. I know people that won't commit to an animal because of the pain that one moment is. And I try to share with them. 14 and a half years of love and a wonderful experience versus that one painful moment, which lingers, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Well, are people going to say that attachment is not worth it? What's the phrase? Is it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all?
Right.
No, of course it's not.
But there are people that cannot handle that type of pain, so they don't even put themselves in the situation, which they're missing out.
They are, but it's so true. It's so true. Ben, you got anything you want to chime in on this?
I feel the same. I was one of those people, actually, not too long ago. My fiance wanted to get pets. I said, nah, because the first thing I thought of was how much it hurt the last time I had to say goodbye to one. And I said, I really don't want to do that. But then you actually go, and like you said, you look into their eyes, they stare into your eyes, and it's like, oh, man, this is on again.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, you got 6 guinea pigs at home.
It's so true.
Guinea pigs, huh?
And the human dog bond is a remarkable source of oxytocin.
Oh, yeah.
The neurohormone of trust and social bonding and the cuddle hormone, it is so profound. You could just look at Dodger. And actually there was a whole thing about this just recently about the genetics that have gone on and the natural selection when it comes to the muscles of the eyebrows of dogs. Did you hear about this
No.
stuff? So dogs and wolves are remarkably related, right? I mean, they're basically,
Yeah.
close cousins. But wolves have not evolved this particular musculature of the eyebrow. And so a wolf can look at you and you don't get that sort of emotional response, but a dog looks at you with those eyes, and the eyebrows move in a certain way, and it just triggers in the human brain this attachment, this connection. It is remarkable. That's been selected for. And that's not unique to dogs and humans. Humans and humans. That's part of what the IM is trying to get at as well. It doesn't matter what race you are, what religion you are, what country you come from. A smile is a smile. A frown is a frown. And a sadness is a sadness.
The international language.
It is. It is.
And when a wolf looks at you like a steak dinner, it's time to go.
It's time to go. Yeah, Dodger, our toy poodle, 18 years old. My daughter Sophie got the dog. It was during. I remember when I found out about Dodger, because I was not privy.
You were a Dodger, right?
I was the Artful Dodger.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we were going to call the dog Oliver because he looked so cute, but then, he kept having to dodge his way away because he was a little dog and we weren't used to it. So we called him Dodger. But what had happened was I'm there watching a Patriots game on TV. It was a Sunday. It was one of Brady's first seasons, and it was actually the first season that they went to the Super Bowl, so I'm very into it. And Sophie and Carol come home. I guess they'd been at the mall. I didn't know that. And she comes over and she says, "Dad, can I get you a drink? Can I get you a soda or a pretzel or something?" And I thought, this is really unusual. And I said, "I'd love that. Thank you, Sophie." And so she goes and she gets me like a soda and a couple of pretzels, and she, can I sit with you and watch the football game? I said, "Sure, absolutely." And yep, she was, as Tom is over there, just gesturing, she was buttering me up.
Yep.
Totally.
And it worked.
Yeah, it did. All of a sudden, we had, they'd already picked out Dodger. He probably had picked them.
Right.
Right? We did, I will be honest, we did get Sophie to pay for the dog.
How old was Sophie?
She was 12, maybe 11, 12. The dog's 18. So, sorry, I didn't mean to give that away. But Sophie then babysat for about 10 months for us when we needed her to do so. But that's beside the point. Dodger was just the smartest dog.
Really?
Oh, just so smart and clever and aware of what's going on. Even when he was, basically senile over the last 6 or 7 months, about 6:15, 6:30 every morning, I would hear him barking, and I would go downstairs and get him and take him outside, and he would poop. If you didn't take him out, he was warning us. He said, this is what I got to do now.
I got to do it.
But I tell you, that's a real social animal.
Yeah.
I know it's not right to poop in the house.
Right.
So I will let you know. Couldn't walk down the stairs. Had to pick him up and take him. But I'm talking about this because we're really talking about community and how community is about sharing. It's about being with other people. It's about enjoying something. It's about being able to experience a world where you're not alone.
Right.
And, we have dogs that are therapy dogs.
Right.
Therapy dogs, so that people, human beings, who may be depressed or anxious or just not feeling valuable,
Yeah.
they have a dog. And that dog loves them.
Unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
Without any baggage.
Nothing. And they feel valued and valuable. And here's this animal. No verbal words in the way that we understand them, but they communicate.
Yeah.